whether you have cancer or know anybody that has cancer, the principles here hold for good health, period. Because of my journey, we're going to find that a lot of it is focused on cancer, but that doesn't mean that the principles don't apply to every other thing to keep you healthy. There's some real specifics, of course. The other thing that we realize is that stress is a real is a problem with cancer, because it puts cortisone in your bloodstream, which changes your insulin balance. There's a whole lot of things that happen under the stress. And laughter is something that helps relieve stress. And this is the date that I think you said.
We were diagnosed on the 7th, and a week later you were in
Oh, this
surgery.
is surgery. That's Russell with his blanket.
Pre-op surgery.
This was, as she mentioned, for her and certainly for me, it was a frightening time. We didn't even have the spiritual resources at the moment to deal with it, because we didn't know what to do. It was the big C word, and we knew nothing, and so it was very frightening. But 10 months later, God led us through the principles that, through friends, through believers. Janet Clark brought us a diet that she had found, and somebody else across the country gave us a alternative therapy place to go. So when I changed surgeons, that came through a believer at another church. So it was, we were guided every minute of the way by God. So let me say at the beginning, these principles are principles that can be applied to anything, as I've said. Seriously, what you see here, and if it requires a lifestyle change, then make that commitment to make a lifestyle change, because it's lifestyle more than genetics that makes the difference. Those books back on that table are books that guided us through a lot of things with the Holy Spirit's guidance. So it's not a one-size-fits-all, and I would ask you to pray about how God would have you change your life if there's something that you see you need to be changing. So this is full of doctors speaking about integrative therapies, about other health practitioners, about people who've been through cancer, survivors, and so you'll get a taste of a lot of those through video. So are there any questions before we start about what we're going to try to do? Yes, Nikki.
So, I haven't spoken with you guys briefly before. Like, when you were watching this, is this an all or nothing kind of thing, or are you going to talk about, in other words, it seems like radical, you know? And so I'm wondering, is it like, are parts of it helpful, or you do the whole thing, or applying, you're talking about all these different integrative therapies, is it like all together?
Oh, no, because see, we were guided as to what therapies to take, and we chose a diet that I wouldn't say would be the diet for everybody who had cancer, or for anybody who had any pre-existing condition of some kind. There would be a different way to go, but we're going to cover a lot of them, and so they're not just, I will talk about what I did, but that is not what everybody should necessarily do. In fact, there's some early testimonies of people who did something completely different from what we did. So no. And for example, I did some oxygen therapy. That would not be recommended for everybody. So does that answer?
Yeah, I think what you mean also, I will say, even if you do a little bit, your body will be grateful.